Hi guys, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Graded Gem just wanted to bring something a little bit special to everyone on this special day, and that is a Charizard Dragon Majesty giveaway. Basically, you can enter via the link in the description below. It's just interacting with us on all the loads of different your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, blah, 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 and you have a chance of winning this absolute beauty. Basically, guys, if this is a success and people enjoy it, then we're going to look at doing monthly giveaways, and hopefully you agree it's not that bad a prize. Anyway, enough from me, and please enjoy the following returns video. Thanks for watching Graded Gem. Hi guys, and we are back with another PSA returns. This one took about 40 days, working days, so that's pretty good. We have 3 customers here, and this is going to be a cool video because this is the WotC. They were basically a lot of near mint sets, some mints, blah blah blah. We've got some really cool shinings in here as well, but we have got part jungle set, part fossil set, part rocket set, and then all part Neo sets, which is really cool. We decided not to grade all of them for this customer because they weren't good enough grades for the grading fee, blah blah blah. However, I'm not going to start off with them. We are going to start off with Richard, otherwise known as Neo Collectibles on Instagram. So he sent away basically a whole WotC promo set. It was a mint set. That's probably what I would say. And I don't think it was awful. Maybe that's not the way to start. But we do. It's a lot of mints basically, near mints. But we do have a Gem Mint 10 on the Marvel. Absolutely beautiful card. We got a Surfing Pikachu near mint 8. No, not the Evolutions reprint. This is actually a really desirable Pikachu. More desirable than I think many people know or believe. So really good card to get a Gem Mint 10 on, to be honest. Very deserved of the grade. Near mint 8 on the Articuno. This card in Japanese is absolutely beautiful. It's no less beautiful in English, don't get me wrong. But yeah, near mint 8. Mint 9 on the Zapdos. This is a bit of an unfortunate one. These guys are generally from sealed packages, and wow, that is a very good. It's a very good Mint 9 indeed. The Gem Mint 10. See, that's what the annoying thing is, because we've got the Articuno and the Moltres here for you, Richard, in the Gem, but we do not have you with the Zapdos. But we do continue on. Those two are incredibly fresh. I mean, they look like they've just come out of the packet. Side up Mint 9. Love the side up, this artwork with a question mark above his head. We got Sabrina's Abra Mint 9. We got the cool Porygon, which is one of the holofoils from this promo set, which got the name in 8. WotC Black Star Gem Mint 10 set would definitely be one I might be interested in collecting. I'm still halfway between collections. And it's definitely one that interests me. And again, actually, you know what? You've done really well to get the Gem Mint on this card, because, again, a very desirable Mew. So thank you, Richard, for sending with Graded Gem. And I think the results are decent. Next up is someone you'll be quite familiar to the channel. Sorry about that. I actually made a bit of an assessment. These cases are different. These are for Yu-Gi-Oh! So I don't know when this policy has come into place, because obviously I normally have quite a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Come through the service, especially from Yu-Gi and stuff to sell. But these cases are different. Even the PSA logo is different to all the Pokemon cards. They don't stack as well, I must be honest. I think they might even be the same as the older cases, which is very strange for it to happen with the Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know whether it's because of this clear plastic sheet. No, not sheet. Anyway, I think a lot of these were regrades. I mean, don't shoot me if it wasn't, but I mean, I think they were. So we got Legend Blue Eyes, first edition Mint 9, Karibo near Mint 7. They weren't too kind. Again, I think it's because a lot of them were regrades. And obviously, I don't know what grades they were before, so I have no idea if they've improved or not. This is a beautiful card, Barrel Dragon, holofoil, absolute stunner, Mint 9. Also a Mint 9 on the Yubel, Terra Incarnate. I do love the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragons. I really think that they're such strong artworks in the main. Harpy Lady Sisters, near Mint 8. Excellent to Mint 6 on this Man-Eater bug, unfortunately. Another Mint 9, though, however, on Levi Dragon Daedalus. Again, really, really cool artwork. Very cool indeed. We got Sanga of the Thunder. I mean, a lot of mint 9s. If a lot of these were near mint 7s and near mint 8s, you've not done too badly, I think. Or maybe they were mint 9s and you were hoping for the gems. I just don't know. But anyway, Fires and Eyes restricts mint 9. Just a 10-card order this time around. But thank you very much for sending as usual. And that is Yugi and stuff to sell. Next up, we move on to our anonymous customer who sent away the Part Jungle, Part Fossil, Part Rocket, Neo Genesis, Neo Discovery, Neo Rev, and Neo Destiny sets. Yeah, a lot of near mints, a lot of mint 9s, but we do have some special gems in here. And yeah, I think we've got a lot of desirable cards. So we're going to start off with the Clefable. It's always nice when you get this many cards from the WotC era come back. The Flareon, a really good grade with a mint 9. Near mint 7 on the Jolteon. I did a whole pre-grade for this. It's 120 cards in all. I have no idea where I come into the cut because basically I had a delivery at the door. Near mint 7. And it's more PSA orders, which probably means I've got to shoot some more some more videos today. I'm out of breath. I just ran to the door. Pidgeot near mint 7. Pinsir near mint 8. A lot of near mints, unfortunately, in the jungle set. And when we did the pre-grade, that is basically what we had. It was a lot of near mint 8s, but I mean, at the end of the day, this anonymous customer, they were just in a binder. And I mean, it's still better to grade them than to sell them raw, if that makes sense. Value-wise, it also just means that the condition is preserved. That's the way I would put it. The Venomoth near mint 8. And very surprisingly, I mean, I know this myself, these sell incredibly quickly. I mean, if they're priced reasonably, of course. I mean, if you go 20% over, then they're not going to sell. But in general, they just sell very quickly. They're first edition WotC, and I think people are starting to understand near mint 8s, even 7s and 9s, they're still very desirable. And depending on what your budget may be, we did send a lot less Fossil off because obviously Fossil has got a lower price point than Jungle, which I think that's fair to say. And again, very similar conditions. They were near mint. Dragonite, near mint 8. But again, they're just very popular cards at the end of the day. Like this one, it's a near mint 8, yes, but it is a Dragonite. It's first edition, and it is from Fossil. And if you price it reasonably, then it does gather a lot of interest. The Gengar mint 9, this was actually a really good grade. I predicted this an 8, actually. So to come back a 9 is a very good grade. Haunter, mint 9. Again, mint 9 is incredibly popular with WotC first editions. Near mint 8s, also very popular. The Kabutops, the Moltres, sleight of hand there. The Muck, we did predict this a gem, and it does look to me it's an incredibly strong 9, and a Muck. The holo is incredibly clean. Looking at it now, though, the only minor issue might be these top 2 corners. There's a little bit of silvering. But, I mean, that's never, in my opinion, that's never stopped old cards getting the gem before. Zapdos, near mint 8. That was all from Fossil. Nothing spectacular in there, I'm not going to lie. However, we do move on to Rocket. Near mint 8. These cards are in a little bit better condition. This set was actually the one that got upgraded the most. Mint 9. Look, I mean, I see these cards so often, but I mean, and I'm sure you do on Instagram, on YouTube, but actually owning these cards is very different. Obviously, I've got my gem copy. I think I was the last person to buy it before it doubled in price. I got it on an auction for $255, and at the time, that was 10 or 20% higher than what everyone else had paid. And then literally the week after, I mean, this is a totally true story, it went up to $500. And I was like, oh, well, it was worth paying the premium for. And there are stories like that all across Pokemon. I mean, I'm definitely going to have to do an investment outlook 2019 Pokemon PSA video. For me, I think what I would speak about in that is 2018, the huge increase in WotC populations as everyone dug out what they could find. They regraded what the hell they could. And PSA were probably a bit more generous with the gems than even I would like to admit. Near mint 8 on the Dark Magneton. But now I think in 2019, we are going to see a slowdown of those gem populations increasing. And a lot of them are still quite low. I would say anything under 50 in WotC is very good, basically. That's a very general statement, guys, by the way. Do not take that as, oh, that's gold. Anything under 50, I will buy. But there are very particular cards that I've definitely been looking at myself, even to get duplications of, because they're just sitting in that lovely position of low pop, difficult to grade, and just very well priced. Near mint 8 Dark Blastoise. Mint 9 on the non-holo. It's still worth grading, in my opinion. We was hoping for that gem. Just that little bit of whitening in the top left. And then a beautiful card with the Dark Raichu. Absolutely adore this card. One of my favourite cards in my collection. Obviously a gem in my case, but the Near Mint 8 still going to be a very desirable card for someone to pick up. We now go on to the Neo sets, and yes, guys, it is Genesis, Discovery, Revelation, and Destiny, and that is including the Shinings, or most of them. We did send the Charizard and the Mewtwo away on an express order. We were confident they would get the desired grade, which, my apologies there, which they did. Too much coffee this morning. Mint 9. This Neo Genesis set was the one that did the worst against my pre-grades. I gave a few more 10s in here, and they just didn't come to fruition. This is a very minty Neo Genesis set. Actually, in my opinion, it is their best. It's their best, and this one is a potential for a regrade for sure. I mean, the problem is the gem price isn't actually that much more. You're looking at £100 more, and if you sent it again and again and again, you're going to spend more on grading than you are just selling the Mint 9. And Mint 9s are incredibly popular and very easy, even at this time of year. It's January, by the way. This video might not be out till March. But yeah, it's a very strong 9, and I don't say that without hesitation. That there is literally no scratching on the holofoil. If there is even one issue, I'd never suggest regrading, because it's just like, well, you're basically just asking them to upgrade for no reason. But if they are truly gem, and you truly believe that, I don't believe there's anything wrong with regrading. Many of my customers do. I have not very much. The only ones I did do was the Pikachu Delta Species holofoil, because I just felt like that was deserving of a gem. Look, Heracross Mint 9. See, that is a Mint 9, and the reason for that is because of the lines and the holofoil. But this is a very, very strong Mint 9. Very minty set, the Neo Genesis, from this customer. Jumpluff Near Mint 8, as he says that. Kingdra Mint 9. The Lugia, I did predict a 9. It wasn't a 10 candidate in my eyes. The back is incredibly strong. But it is a 9, and a 9 is what it got, and this is still an incredibly desirable card. It's the first ever WotC set printing of Lugia. It's such an amazing, iconic Lugia card. I would love to own this in Gem one day. I just think it's fabulous. I don't think anything is ever going to come near it, in my opinion, anyway. Okay. Meganium Near Mint 8. Beautiful holofoil on that. Mint 9 on the other Meganium. Pichu coming in with the Near Mint 8. Skarmory. I've run out of things to say, haven't I? With the Mint 9. Steelix, again, it was a massive gem candidate, and I tell you what, I mean, I still think it is. But I mean, cost to benefit ratio, it's not worth it, because if it comes back a 9 again, you're just wasting your time. It's a very, very strong 9 though. Togetic Mint 9. Maybe one you've all been waiting for was this Typhlosion, but unfortunately it got the Near Mint 8.5. I predict this as an 8, and it is so frustrating it came back an 8.5, because I prefer an 8, because then you've got that whole number. The subgrading on PSA is not popular. For BGS, I completely get it. You're getting 4 different grades. The subgrading system works fine. But for me, on PSA, I want 8 or 9. And if it's an 8.5, give me an 8. That's the way I see it anyway. But you are more than welcome to disagree with me if you believe 8.5s have a place. All I think that happens with 8.5s is people buy them in the hope they're going to get them in 9. That's my evaluation of it anyway. This Neo Genesis Metal Energy Mint 9. Could you imagine if this come back a gem? The back is so clean. So clean. But the back is not the problem. It is this line going through the Metal Energy, which means it gets the Mint 9. So clean on the back, though. Such a pleasure to go through all of these cards. Next, go on to Discovery. We've got the Near Mint 8 on the Espeon. Near Mint 8 on the Hitmontop. Near Mint 7 on the Houndoom, and that is because of excessive scratching on the left-hand side. I can't remember what I pre-graded that. Mint 9 on the Houndour, very popular again. Kabutops, I love this Kabutops art. For me, it is the top Kabutops. It's like it's coming through the mist or the clouds. I don't know what it's come through, but it just looks amazing. Yeah, Near Mint 8 on that guy, though. Politoed. There isn't many artworks of this Politoed, must be honest. Poliwrath, Near Mint 7. Again, a lot of Near Mints we have here. Is another really cool sizzle art with the strikes there on the card. Absolutely beautiful. Again, I think it's the scratching. Quite a bit of scratching on this Neo Discovery set, unfortunately. Near Mint 8. Guys, also you should think, I just want to put this out there. PSA have maybe been a bit harder than I expected, but I didn't predict many 10s from this. These were from binders, and before you think, oh, what, there's been no 10s. There wasn't expected to be any. Really, up to this stage, there was in Neo Genesis, don't get me wrong, but overall, unfortunately, they were kept in very good condition. They were kept in binders. They were kept in a box a long way away, but a lot of them from the binders weren't bought, or they weren't taken out of a box, let's say a booster box, and put straight in the binder. That just wasn't the case. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't read too much into the lot of Near Mint 8s and Mint 9s. That is what I think the sets were. They were Near Mint to Mint. So I think overall PSA have done, yeah, they've done all right on this order. I don't know. I just didn't want people looking at this going, oh, why is there no gems? It doesn't have to be a gem to necessarily, for it to make sense to grade the card. I must be honest. I sell 100 of these cards a year, and I understand that better than, you know, most people. Well, not anyone, but I've really dug a hole there. But I understand that concept. Very light holofoil on this Celebi, I must say. Is that some sort of error? That is incredibly light. It's almost just like a few speckles of glitter. Wow. That's got to be a variation of the holofoil, because I swear I've seen 4 holofoil go around. That is very unique. I will look into this one and see if there's any value increase there. That is incredible. Near Mint 8, Crobat, with those famous eyes on the holofoil. Again, very light holofoil. Near Mint 8. Delibird, Near Mint 8. This one, again, was one that I pre-graded Near Mint 8, and it come back an excellent 5. The only reason I can think of that is because of there is a decent chunk of whitening on the top left. Personally, I didn't feel like that was enough to make it an excellent 5. There is a bit of scratching, and a very faint scratching on the holofoil. Near Mint 8. It did not get. It was an excellent 5. Ho-Ho First Edition, Near Mint 8. Such a beautiful card. See, again, it's got that whitening there in the top left-hand corner. But this one achieved the Near Mint 8. Mint 9 on the Houndoom. Absolutely beautiful card, this one. Jumpluff. We sent away 2 of these. He had one in a main folder and one in a spares folder. They were both worth sending. Near Mint 8 on the Magneton. 8.5 on the Mischievous. Again, annoyingly, why don't you just give us an 8 or a 9? Near Mint 8 on the Porygon 2. Near Mint 8 on the Raikou. And actually, you know what I haven't said throughout this entire video? These will be all on graded Groudon at the best price, guys. They're not mine, frankly, but they will all be on graded Groudon at the best price. You will find these cards on eBay, but I would definitely suggest, if you want the best price, go to graded Groudon. It's 10% off my eBay prices. And I always try and be as fair as possible. I can't give any discount on these cards because the prices will be set as is. But they, you know, for a lot of you who've dealt with me, either through Graded Groudon or through eBay or whatever, you understand that I am quite fair with the pricing. I'm not the cheapest a lot of the time because you can buy the cards cheaper if you're patient. I mean, I certainly have. But I'm definitely not the most expensive. I'm not expecting, you know, a bag of gold for these cards. Don Fan, Nimin 8. Neo Destiny actually did alright, you know, in comparison to our pre-grade. Nimin 8. Dart for Alligator. Obviously, it's a favourite of mine, this set. Beautiful Dart for Alligators. And I think the Mint 9s and Nimits are going to go probably quicker than any other set from Neo Destiny. That's my opinion, of course. And guess what, ladies and gents? We have our first gem from this customer. And it is the Dark Houndoom. And what a beautiful card it is. One of those got a Nimin 8 from the spares folder. Dark Paragon 2. I predicted this a 10, actually. Yeah, I mean, it's close. It's just so close. I overpaid for this card as well in my gem copy, but that's all right. Dark Scizor, Mint 9. It's just such a beautiful set. I love this card. Definitely go and check out the Neo Destiny investing video if you haven't. It's definitely the set that if I was coming into it now, just buying PSA 10 and investing, this would be the set I'd go after. And the main reason, one of the main reasons for that is because of the ridiculously low price of this card in gem. It's utterly ridiculous, the price for this. I'm not trying to bring it up, but genuinely, if you can get this on auction, get it. Sorry about that. Dark Tyranitar, Mint 9. I've been speaking for a long time now, 22 minutes. You must be fed up of my voice. This is, again, like the Feraligatr from Neo Genesis, one of the cards maybe that might be worth the regrade. It is. It is perfect. Apologies again. I see very little silvering on the top. I might have to talk a bit less. Mint 9 on the light Arcanine. Beautiful card, isn't it? And look at that. It is absolutely fabulous. Light Azumarill, like Dragonite, Mint 9, Mint 8. Like Togetic, I'm genuinely going to lose my voice. Mint 8, Miracle Energy. Right then, ladies and gents, we go on to the main event. So we've got a Gem Mint first edition Shiny Celebi as predicted. Oh, goodness me, this is awful. A Gem Mint 10 Shining Kabutops, first edition as predicted. It's getting colder in the UK here. That should definitely be a factor. Mint 9 on the Shining Noctowl. And because I've been talking for 25 minutes and I wasn't smart enough to put a drink down, my commentary has fallen below par standards. Mint 9 on the Noctowl and the Raichu first edition. As predicted, ladies and gents. And then we got a beautiful, absolutely stunning Shiny Steelix and Shiny Tyranitar. One gem, one mint as predicted. Alright then, guys, that is me. That was our free customers. Our bulk customer, 120 cards of the WotC holofoils. We got loads more cards coming back from them. Thank you very much to Richard from Neo Collectibles and Tyson from Yugi and Stuff to Sell. And yeah, guys, I'm going to end the video there and stop talking and leave it to the outro. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as usual, like, subscribe. It is really, really appreciated. See you later, guys. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like, hit that bell button, and go and follow our social media. Oh, and don't forget gradedgem.com. Thanks, guys.